Welcome back. This is Business Center, and we are continuing with the show. And to our question of the day, we had asked you: Does organic matter affect does organic matter have any effect on soil color? We have some answers here. Naomi from Udhiru and Nasema, answer is yes. I guess it makes the soil light in color. Am I right? All right, just stick around. You'll find this answer at the end of the show. But first, we move to agro commodities for today. We are looking at dry white maize, oranges, nyayo beans, white Irish potatoes, cabbages and tomatoes. We are having 6 commodities, and then we are going to look at these 6 commodities in Garissa, Kakamega, Kiambu, Machakos. Now we're going to look at dry white maize per 90 kg. If you look at all those areas, we have Kiambu in Wangige, which is 2,799, which is the most economical of all those areas. And then when we move to oranges per 93 kgs, if we look at all those areas, in Garissa is where we have 3,255, which is more economical if you compare it with Kakamega and Machakos. And then we move to nyayo beans per 90 kgs. If we look at Machakos in Athi River, it's 7,650. It is the most economical if we compare it with Garissa. No, if we compare it with Kakamega, but also Garissa is much more cheaper at 6,998. So therefore Garissa is more economical. And then we move to white Irish potatoes per 50 kgs. And then we have in Kiambu, Wangige area at 1,500. And then we move to cabbages per 126 kgs. Now there's a big comparison here. In Garissa is 10,800. And then in Kakamega is 1,890. Therefore, Kakamega in Mali area is 1,890. And then we move to our last commodity, tomatoes per 64 kgs. In Machakos, Athi River is 3,520. This is more economical. Now we move to our innovation sector for today. Food security is one of the greatest global challenges of the 21st century. We're going to also continue moving to our innovations to our 21st century. The global population grew to 7 billion in 2009 and is expected to reach over 9 billion by 2050. It is imperative that innovation research in soil science will be fundamental in overcoming the growing threat of global food and fuel crop shortages as the world's population continues to increase. Now, today we shall focus on some of the innovations used to improve the soil. But first, our first is plant cover crops. We move to plant cover crops. But first, our question of the day: does organic matter have any effect on soil color? Does organic matter have any effect on soil color? We are going to read some of the comments. We have Odhiambo Wagithurai and Asema, answer ni yes. Kevin, thank you so much, Odhiambo from Githurai. Now we move to our first innovations, which is cover crops. Cover crops are an excellent addition to your soil improvement program. They can provide organic matter and nutrients, improve drainage and aeration, attract beneficial soil organisms, and act as an overwintering mulch. While cover crops can be grown in rotation with other crops at any time throughout the year, they are most popularly used during a sunny period. And then you're going to move to mulch for big benefits. Mulching encourages healthy soil tilth by retaining moisture and nutrients. It also saves time by reducing the need for weeding, watering, and fertilizing. How you mulch your garden beds depends on your climate. For example, heavier mulches are beneficial in hot, dry climates where moisture evaporation is high. In contrast, lighter mulches are more appropriate in cool, rainy climates where soil benefits from the warmth of the sun but still need protection against erosion. After a pest outbreak, however, discard affected plant material and avoid using mulches during the rainy period so as to avoid providing protection to overwhelming pests. Now, I'm also going to move to organic matter in soil. Now, organic matter consists of plant and animal material that is in the process of decomposing. When it has fully decomposed, it is called humus. This humus is important for soil structure because it holds individual mineral particles together in clusters. It also helps soil hold important plant nutrients. You can increase the organic matter in your garden or farm by adding compost or applying mulch. Application of organic matter to the soil adds carbon, which promotes the growth of beneficial bacteria, which increases the likelihood of hardy plants. Amending the soil is important for good yields. Now, our last innovations is grow, chop, and drop nutrient. Now, nutrient accumulators are plant species that are often integrated into permaculture gardens. The roots of accumulators are said to collect specific nutrients from the soil. These potentially nutrient-rich plants can be chopped back several times throughout the year in order to use the cuttings as a mulch. This may save money by reducing the number of soil amendments you need to purchase. Growing them may also improve biodiversity. Although there hasn't been a lot of research conducted on nutrient accumulators, comfrey is the most often cited plant. Comfrey is a shrub that grows in parts of Europe, Asia, and North America. It can grow up to 5 feet tall. It produces clusters of purple, blue, and white flowers, and it's famous for its long, slender leaves and black-skinned roots. Studies suggest that one can use comfrey as an organic DIY fertilizer spray. Now, those are our innovations for today. We're also going to remember our question of the day today. I hope you remember it. Does organic matter affect in soil color? Now we have Agatha kutoka Westland says the answer is yes. It makes it more dark, especially when the soil is really healthy. Now that is Agatha kutoka Westlands. Thank you so much. We move to our Agri Facts. Manures improve the fertility of the soil by adding organic matter and nutrients by allowing nitrogen to be trapped by bacteria in the soil. There are two natural methods of manures, one of them being organic substances which are obtained from dead plants and animal wastes. On today's Agri Facts, we shall be looking at the different types of manure. Now, our first Agri Fact is green manure. Green manure is a term used to describe specific plant or crop varieties that are grown and turned into the soil to improve its overall quality. A green manure crop can be cut and then plowed into the soil or simply left in the ground for an extended period prior to tilling garden areas. They are grown and plowed into the soil while still green. Now, some of the green manure crops are legumes, ryegrass, fenugreek, etc. Now, to improve the facility of soil, we're also going to look at farmyard manure. Farmyard manure refers to the decomposed mixture of dung and urine of farm animals along with litter and leftover material from roughage and fodder fed to the cattle. There isn't an involved process to prepare farmyard manure. All you have to do is collect the cow dung and urine into a layer of even thickness under a simple roof to keep it from getting excessively wet and exposed to pure sunlight. More dung and urine are added along with some water if it gets too dry. Farmyard manure is a rich organic compost ideal for use all around the garden. It breaks down naturally in the soil, releasing nutrients as well as providing a rich natural source of organic matter and humus, essential for the development of healthy plants and fruits and vegetables. Now, our Agri Facts also, we look at compost manure. Compost is a mixture of organic residues, that is manure, animal carcasses, straw that have been piled, mixed and moistened to undergo high heat of 113 to 160 degrees. How do you make your pot composting manure? First, segregate your household waste into dry and wet in your kitchen. Then separate the two wastes into two different containers. Then add dry leaves to the same quantity as the waste and semi-compost material, buttermilk or cow dung to start with the decomposition process. That's our Agri Facts for today. Our question of the day is, does organic matter affect the soil color? Does organic matter affect the soil color? We have some answers here. We have Nyambura from Embakasi says the answer is yes, it gets darker. And then we have Terence Waruiru says yes, it gets darker. Now, organic matter tends to make the soil color darker. Yes, humus, the final stage of organic matter breakdown is black. Throughout the stages of organic matter breakdown, the color imparted to the soil varies from brown to black. There you have it. That is your answer. Yes, it turns the color. That has been our question of the day today, and the answers, you've seen them from the people who contributed to our question of the day today. Thank you so much. That's it for Agribusiness today. My name is Kelvin Nyakundi from the rest of the team here at Metropole TV who made this a success. Thank you so much for joining us.